Did you know that some things you accept from others might be quietly sabotaging your peace and happiness without you even realizing it? Imagine how much lighter and more fulfilled your life could be if you only welcomed what truly uplifts your spirit. In today's video, we'll uncover 5 surprising things that, according to powerful Buddhist teachings, you should never accept from others. These things may seem harmless on the surface, but they have the potential to drain your energy, cloud your mind, and block your path to a prosperous and balanced life. It's time to protect your well-being by recognizing what doesn't serve you. Whether it's the subtle weight of others' expectations, emotional traps, or negative influences that sneak into your daily routine, learning to reject these things will help you reclaim control of your energy. Today, you'll discover how these ancient teachings can transform your perspective and strengthen your serenity. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what to avoid, but also how to stay grounded and intentional in your decisions, freeing yourself from the invisible burdens you've unknowingly accepted. So stay with me and let's embark on this journey toward a more peaceful and purposeful life. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more life-changing insights. And together, let's create a community focused on living with clarity and inner peace. Now let's dive into the first thing you should never accept from others: destructive criticism. At first glance, criticism can seem helpful, even well-meaning. It often comes wrapped in the guise of advice or feedback from people we care about or respect. But here's the truth: not all criticism is constructive, and when you accept negative words or harsh judgments without filtering their intentions, you allow seeds of doubt to be planted in your mind. Imagine someone telling you that your dreams are too big, or that you're not talented enough to achieve something you're passionate about. Over time, those words can take root in your subconscious, subtly eroding your self-confidence and self-worth. You begin to question your abilities, even when deep down you know you're capable. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that everything in this world is energy, including the words we hear and the emotions they carry. When you accept destructive criticism, you allow negative energy to infiltrate your mind and spirit. But here's the empowering part: you don't have to accept it. You have the right to protect your peace by rejecting words that don't contribute to your growth. Instead of internalizing hurtful comments, practice mindfulness in those moments. Take a breath, pause, and ask yourself, is this feedback helping me become a better version of myself? If the answer is no, let it go. Learn to distance yourself from toxic remarks and remember that your value isn't defined by someone else's opinion. By setting this boundary, you reclaim control over your self-image and prevent negativity from taking root in your heart. The second thing you should never accept from others is guilt. How many times have you found yourself carrying someone else's burdens, feeling responsible for their emotions or problems? This type of guilt is one of the most subtle yet destructive forces in our lives. Often, it manifests as feelings of obligation, whether it's saying yes to things you don't want to do or taking the blame for someone else's difficulties. Think about it. How often do you feel guilty for not meeting someone's expectations, even when those expectations are unreasonable? This guilt can trap you in a cycle of self-blame, anxiety, and unnecessary suffering. You might feel as if you're constantly trying to fix things that aren't yours to fix, or apologizing for choices that are completely valid. Over time, this guilt weighs on your spirit, making it harder to find peace within yourself. Buddhist teachings remind us that one of the most powerful acts of self-love is learning to recognize what is and isn't our responsibility. When you allow yourself to carry guilt that doesn't belong to you, you surrender your freedom and energy to someone else's narrative. Instead, choose to live authentically. Be compassionate, yes, but understand that you can only control your own actions and emotions. The path to peace lies in releasing the guilt that others try to impose on you and focusing on what genuinely aligns with your values and well-being. The third thing to avoid accepting is emotional baggage disguised as concern. This is perhaps one of the trickiest things to navigate because it often comes from those closest to us. People who genuinely care about us, our family, friends, or colleagues, might unintentionally project their own fears, worries, or expectations onto us. They might say, "I'm just worried about you," or "I want what's best for you," when in reality, their concerns are rooted in their own insecurities or unresolved issues. Let's be clear, not all concern is bad. Genuine concern is rooted in love and support, but when concern becomes a form of control, an emotional trap that pressures you to live up to someone else's standards, it becomes dangerous. You may start making choices to please others or avoid conflict, rather than following your own desires. This can lead to emotional exhaustion, as you're constantly carrying the weight of expectations that aren't your own. The next time someone expresses concern that feels more like control, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, is this concern helping me grow, or is it pulling me away from my true path? If it's the latter, it's time to set boundaries. Politely but firmly, let others know that while you appreciate their care, you must follow your own intuition and make choices that feel right for you. By doing this, you protect your energy and ensure that your life remains a reflection of your own dreams, not someone else's fears. The fourth thing you should never accept is fear of rejection. This is a huge one. How many times have you stayed in a situation that made you unhappy, whether in a relationship, a job, or a friendship, because you were afraid of being rejected? Fear of rejection is one of the most common reasons we hold on to things that no longer serve us. We fear being alone, losing approval, or facing disapproval from others, so we tolerate situations that drain us, thinking it's better than facing the unknown. But here's the truth. When you live in fear of rejection, you close yourself off from the endless possibilities that come from living authentically. Instead of shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's expectations, embrace the idea that rejection is not the end. It's often the beginning of something much greater. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that true acceptance begins within. When you fully accept and respect yourself, you no longer need the approval of others to validate your worth. You become free to pursue the life that aligns with your deepest values, even if it means saying goodbye to situations or relationships that no longer bring you joy. Start by valuing your own needs and desires above the fear of rejection. When you do, you'll find that saying no to what doesn't serve you becomes easier, and with that, doors will open to new opportunities and relationships that are truly aligned with your soul. Finally, never accept the belief that setting boundaries is selfish. Many of us are conditioned to think that saying no or putting ourselves first is selfish or wrong. But this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, setting boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-care and self-respect you can practice. It's about recognizing your own limits and honoring them, so that you can show up fully in your life without being depleted by others' demands or negativity. When you say no to things that drain you, you're actually saying yes to your peace, well-being, and personal growth. Boundaries allow you to protect your inner peace and create space for what truly matters. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of safeguarding our energy, and setting boundaries is a key part of this. By being clear about what you will and won't accept, you create a life that is aligned with your highest values and purpose. So the next time someone tries to make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, remember, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's essential. When you prioritize your own well-being, you become a stronger, more grounded version of yourself, capable of bringing more positivity into the world. By applying these ancient Buddhist teachings in your life, you can cultivate a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Be mindful of what you accept from others, and remember that you have the power to protect your energy and create a life that reflects your true self.